iVoteAfrica, where every vote counts.
So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the studio this morning. My name is Neche Chibuko and I'm your host. With me in the studio this morning is a very important guest. I should just let him introduce himself so that we can know who he is properly. So, sir.
Thank you, Neche, for having me. My name is Peter Ike. I work in tech. Even though I have a background in finance, I've been in the banking sector for more than 20 years, even though I've left that sector now to be fully into tech. I am currently the co-founder of Castle and Knight Data Architects, and we're here to discuss one of our flagship products, iVoteAfrica.
You're welcome once again to the studio.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so before we go into the details, are you coming into this as a politician or as a... What is your drive for this? Are you a political actor now or you're an activist?
Well, I was going to make that caveat, even if you had not asked. I'm not a politician, but of course, we all have our preferences for political parties and candidates and how we want the nation to be run. So I'm not a frontline activist, I'm not a politician. I'm just a system builder. I'm just a tech enthusiast who, having looked at what's been happening around the discussions in the country, the issues we are facing around our electoral processes, I started asking questions. If we can use tech in finance, in agric, in military, in telecoms and all of that, why not use tech in governance, in politics, in elections and all of that? So I'm not a frontline politician, I'm not a frontline activist, but I'm a concerned Nigerian.
That's very good. That's very good.
Thank you.
So having said that, I have a number of questions I've prepared to ask you about the whole about iVoteAfrica and electronic voting transmission. So
it's okay.
So firstly, there's a lot of debate around electronic transmission in Nigeria and electoral reforms. What exactly is the issue at stake?
Thank you for that question. Like you must have noticed, which is why you're asking this, in the past few weeks, the issue in the front burner has been electronic transmission of results. That has been the subject of so many discussions in so many fora, activists on the streets, senators in their chambers, and everybody seems to be on the edge. It's just all about transmitting election results from the polling units to INEC server. That has been the issue on everybody's lips. But unfortunately, there is something that is not being talked about, and that is the process that gives birth to that result that we're asking for transmission. So, but that's what we intend to handle with iVoteAfrica.
Okay, so are you saying the national conversation will be focused on the wrong thing?
Yes, definitely. The reason is this. Everybody is talking about electronic transmission, which is moving results from the polling units to the central location where the result is announced. But then, that is like trying to digitize paperwork, a paperwork that is a product of a broken system. The issues that we face in elections result from all these manual processes: manual accreditation, manual voting, intimidation, manipulation, violence, ballot stuffing, snatching, and outright rigging of the system. So when we do all these manual things and arrive at a result that nobody is really sure of, that nobody trusts, that nobody believes in, and then we digitize that paper, snap it and upload to the platform, it seems like you're asking for something else while you are giving something else and you accept. So there seems to be a confusion even between those that are asking for transmission and those that are giving the transmission. So there seems to be a
confusion around.
Yes, basically. The discussion is totally off.
What does electronic transmission actually mean in practical terms?
Well, electronic transmission is moving information electronically from one point to another. In this case now, what we're talking about is election results.
Yes.
So we go to the polling unit to cast our votes, we do all the manual thing, the paper is written as a result sheet. Now somebody snaps it and uploads. That's electronic transmission. You've transmitted that paper to the server. Okay. For other people, it could also mean directly inputting figures electronically onto the system. You see? But the thing is, the system as it is, electronic transmission as it is, what we should really be talking about is the process that yields that result, not the transmission of the result. Like I've tried to explain earlier, it's like digitizing the product of a broken system.
Yeah.
Yes.
So can electronic transmission prevent rigging at the polling units?
No. The simple answer is no. I've always maintained this stance. A process gives birth to a particular outcome.
Yes.
If the process that gives birth to that outcome is flawed, then the outcome is flawed. There's something called systemic error in statistics. So if you're supposed to write 5,000 and you write 500, the result is already wrong.
Yes.
Whether it is mistake, whether it is outright manipulation, whether it is by intimidation, whether somebody forced you to do that, the result is already wrong. So if you transmit that wrong result electronically, you have not solved the rigging problem. And that's the root cause of all the litigation that we face post-election.
Yeah.
That's the reason people go to court. That's why people contest results, because the system that produces, yes. So that transmission, as we're asking for it, snapping and uploading does not solve the problem. It will not solve the problem at the polling units where the votes are cast.
And so what problem is electronic transmission actually going to solve?
From my understanding, no, at best, the thing it can do is just make that result, which is susceptible to manipulations and error, make the announcement faster, make the transmission faster at best. But solving the root cause of the problem, which is getting people to believe in the result, eliminating the potentials of manipulation, yes, intimidation, ballot stuffing, and all of that, transmission cannot solve that problem.
Well, it's quite unfortunate that we are still practicing this kind of system right now. Moving on to the next question. So why is Nigeria still relying on paper ballot system?
Well, it can only be traced to the history of how we started our electoral processes.
Yes.
Right from when we had independence, technology was not what it is today. There was no internet as it were, and all of that. So the only thing people could do was paper ballots. And then, unfortunately, we have remained at that point. We refuse to move from that manual,
yes,
because when you look at the whole system, the holistic view of the system, between then and now, we also had banking, we also had governance, we also had agri, we also had some form of telecommunications. But all these other sectors have been significantly affected positively by technology. But when it comes to the electoral system, we just choose to remain the manual
we
process.
Choose.
Yeah, but of course, it's a choice. It's a choice. We chose to stay there.
So that being said, is manual voting still practical in a country with over 200 million people?
We seem to be forcing it to be practical, but the evidence suggests otherwise. It's no longer working. In a country of 200 million people with tens of millions of people turning out to vote, it becomes more delicate, it becomes more complex, it becomes more fragile. The trust issues increase.
Yes.
The chances for manipulation increase. A lot of things come in between. So it's no longer working. It can't work for a population as large as Nigeria, for an area as large as Nigeria. Do you understand? Yes. So if it is a kindred meeting of about 30 people, yes, you can do paper ballots. Everybody is there. Everybody is seeing everything. But when you have to transport results from very interior areas to somewhere else,
yes,
that's the root cause of all the dispute. Nobody now believes that system because a lot happens.
When it's traveling to when it's coming,
you understand. So we are trying to force a system that can no longer work to continue working. Yeah. And as long as we keep forcing the system to work for us, when it doesn't have the capacity anymore to do it, then we'll keep facing these issues that we are facing. So it doesn't work anymore.
So let's talk the real electronic voting.
Okay.
So for instance now, what would elections look like if voting itself were electronic?
In summary, it will be beautiful. Oh. It will be beautiful because voters will have to be accredited, allowed to cast their votes,
yes,
electronically. Their votes will be recorded, encrypted, transmitted instantaneously. It's just like when you go to the bank or you use your phone to do a transfer to somebody. Sometimes even before the app closes, you've gotten your alert already. So it's just that way. So it will build the public confidence. It will build trust. It will build confidence in the system. It will eliminate room for violence. It will eliminate human errors. It will eliminate a lot of things that happen between the point of casting the vote and announcing the result. It will limit court cases, litigations, post-election crisis, right? It will build the confidence of the people, and it will generally produce the people's mandate and choice naturally.
Is Nigeria legally allowed to adopt full electronic voting?
Well, constitutionally, there is nothing that stops us from doing electronic voting. There is nothing in the constitution that stops that, but it will require some level of legal clarity. By legal clarity, I mean specifying what is and how incidences will be treated, what will amount to what. You understand? So for us in the tech, we can always align our products, with the legal framework established for electronic voting. But those clarities must be in place so that we have uniformity of interpretation, uniformity of expectations, and uniformity of acceptance. You understand? But there is nothing in the constitution that prohibits us expressly from doing electronic voting.
So I guess this is where iVoteAfrica comes in.
This is the beauty of iVoteAfrica. iVoteAfrica is designed to be an ecosystem that handles accreditation, that handles ballots, casting of the real votes, storing the results, transmitting it, and displaying it on the public display dashboard. So it's not just a transmission tool, it's actually an ecosystem that handles the voting process from the point the voter comes to the polling unit to when the result is announced.
Why do people snatch ballot boxes during elections?
Okay, the reason is very simple. The results are in the ballot box and they want to influence the outcome of the ballot, so they go for the ballot box. So if they're able to destroy the paper, the results, if they're able to manipulate it in any way, they're already influencing the outcome of the result. So it's very simple. That's why they go for the ballot box. But to do that, they do a lot of violence, intimidation, a lot of bodily injury and damages to lives and property, in order to achieve that. So, but the basic reason is just to influence the outcome of the result.
So what happens to ballot snatching in an electronic system?
There is no ballot to snatch. Everything is electronic. So you approach a polling unit and you are presented with a system, could be a tablet or a laptop or whatever that is permissible, and then you cast your vote and you leave. So when people come to snatch ballot boxes, the results are already safely and securely stored somewhere else. So even if they destroy the device that people are using for voting, all you need to do is to replace the device and voting continues as though nothing happened. I can just give you a classical illustration. This is just like you're a bank customer. You go to the bank, you open your account in a particular branch, and then over the weekend there was maybe flood or fire or something, and for any reason that branch could not open on Monday. Or you need to do your transaction. All you need to do is to go to another branch of the same bank and do your transaction. And believe you me, the beauty of iVoteAfrica is that just like in the banking sector, if you deposit your money in another bank branch, it counts for the balance sheet of where you opened the account. The same way in iVoteAfrica. So if you cast your vote, assuming you registered in Obo Hill and then you cast at Port Harcourt Road, the vote still counts as an Obo Hill branch. Polling units, you get the point. So that's the beauty of electronic voting and ballot box snatching.
So in this kind of system, can someone vote more than once?
No, the simple answer is no, because it's properly authenticated. Every voter has an ID, and once that ID commits a vote, the system locks that ID for that particular election. Now, there are about 7 kinds of election that will conduct, from presidential to councillorship. For whichever one that is available for you, you can continue to vote in Senate, in governorship, and chairmanship, and all of that. But you cannot do multiple voting in any particular one. So if you do presidential election, the system will allow you to do governorship and senatorial and all of that other elections. But once you attempt to vote again for presidential, the system will not permit that to happen. So no, nobody can vote multiple times.
So Nigeria is a very big country. So I'm curious, can a system like this scale across the entire country?
Definitely. It's the same principles that govern electronic banking and telecommunications. These modern systems are designed to accept tens of millions of transactions on a daily basis. It's the same principle that will govern and apply in electronic voting. So it's scalable, quite easily scalable to, cover the whole federation.
So how does transparency work in such a system?
Well, transparency is at the heart of iVoteAfrica, because studying the system, we've come to the conclusion that all the post-election issues that we have in the country arise from people not trusting the process, because they cannot follow the process from start to finish. So when you cast your vote at the polling units and it's counted in your presence, you go home. Everybody practically goes home. Yeah. So the result moves to the ward collation, from ward collation to local government to state. In that time, people cannot see what's happening. People are not there. Even when people are there, they are not everywhere, right? So transparency becomes a major issue. But for iVoteAfrica, in developing this, transparency was at the heart of it. Now, we built a system that automatically generates these votes, counts, collates, transmits instantly. So first of all, you are sure that from the points you voted to when your result is being displayed, because it is instantaneous, yes, nobody has tampered with it, you're sure, first of all. Then again, the system is designed to also send email notification. So we'll demonstrate all of that for you to see. So when you cast a vote, yeah, it sends out an email notification to relevant stakeholders, could be to INEC, to party representatives, to party agents, to international observers, and all of that. To have dedicated emails. We already have the system in place just to now configure their dedicated email address. So it sends this notification that this vote has been cast. This vote is vote number 5 or vote number 7 or yes, whatever the vote number is. Okay. It's coming from this polling unit, and this is the choice of this vote. It is this party or that party, and it is for this election. Yes. And this is the time. These are critical information that is contained in that email. Yeah. So observers, agents, politicians, INEC, everybody that is a relevant stakeholder can actually become a collation agent on its own, an independent collation agent. So in your office or wherever you are observing the election from, you can actually start tabulating those emails as they are coming. You can actually start collating them, and then you compare your results with what is being displayed on the dashboard. Yeah. That eliminates that issue of trust, because if the mail is sent to 10 people and 9 out of the 10 people have, for a particular party, 50 votes, then only one person now has 500 for it. You get the point. So yeah, all of them cannot come together to agree to tamper. Yeah. It's besides, it's just for independent verification. So verification and trust is no longer about what you see. It becomes mathematical. Everybody now gets involved. Yes. It is now a transparent system. Everybody, by the time we are done, everybody just goes home satisfied.
So it's just like watching a football match.
Exactly. Immediately you score, it is showing. So there is no room for, although you people have VAR now, that after scoring you can go and change the but you get the point. Yes, it's like that. It's real time like that.
So having said all this, and it's very interesting the way it's sounding already, I'm just wishing that we've already adopted this process.
You should
that is what we are using.
Honestly.
So can we see a live demonstration of how the process is?
Yes. With the features I mentioned are already existing in the system, so I can easily show you. Okay, so let's just go to the internet. Go to www.ivote.africa. The reason you're registering here is because we need to generate VIN for you, or what will represent your VIN, voter identification number. But in the real sense of it, your voter identification number already exists with INEC. Okay. So if the system is to be adopted, we just need to migrate that information. So let's register you. Your surname is
Chibuko.
Okay.
Chinecherem.
Your email address, what email? Okay.
@gmail.com.
Okay. Your phone number.
09186.
Okay. So your voter state is this Abia State.
Abia State, yes.
Okay. Abia State. Which local government is this?
Abia North.
Okay. Abia North.
Yes.
Abia North. Okay. Which ward is this?
Let's use Obo Hill 1.
Obo Hill 1.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, let's use Obo Hill 1.
Okay. Then the polling units.
Obo Hill Council Hall.
Obo Hill Council Hall 1.
Yes.
So that becomes your polling unit.
Polling unit, yes.
So automatically the system loads your senatorial districts, Abia South,
Yes.
your federal constituency is Aba North and Aba South, and then your state house of assembly is Abia Central.
Okay, once I select my polling unit, it's going to
Your ward, actually.
Yeah.
So it populates those figures
Okay.
automatically, those values. So when you say register, when you click on register, it takes you to another page where you now select a pin. So for the purpose of this, let's just use 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes.
Say complete registration. So you would get an email notification with your VIN.
Okay.
Has it come in?
Yes, I've gotten my
Okay, so
confirmation email.
so now you have a pin and a
The VIN, yeah.
Exactly. So the next thing to do is to go to vote now on the platform.
Okay.
So this is the page where you choose the kind of election you want. Like we always say, using one single sign-on, you can do presidential election, senatorial election, and all these elections in one swoop. So let's try presidential election.
Okay.
So we'll click on presidential election. So your VIN, call out the VIN for us.
Okay, it's 222.
Okay.
874.
874.
271.
271.
Yes.
Okay. And then our pin is
124.
all right. Okay, so when you select that, it brings out presidential election 2026. We just set this up for training purposes
Okay.
and for testing the platform. There is no presidential election in 2026, but
Yes.
this is what it looks like. So you have alphabets from A to L representing political parties, because we didn't want to start using
Real
PDP,
real
APC.
parties.
Yeah, exactly.
I
So
get-
we use alphabets to represent that. So you make your choice. So just
for
choose.
presidential, right?
Yes.
I want to go with C.
With what?
C.
C.
Yes.
Okay, so when you select C, you will notice that it changes in appearance when compared to the others, showing you that this is the choice you've made.
I've selected
but
yes.
this has not been committed. So until you click on submit votes here, you can actually change it to B. That's one of the features of iVoteAfrica.
Okay.
So that you don't mistakenly, you might want to scroll up and then make a
on
selection.
if.
Exactly. So you have the option of changing that until you make your final selection. So let's go with your C
Yes.
and then submit votes. So
Okay.
once you do that, it loads and it tells you congratulations, your vote has been successfully recorded. At this point, an email notification is already on the way.
Okay.
I'll show you that when it comes in. But while we wait for the email, you can also do senatorial election. So when you say senatorial election, the system automatically loads Abia South senatorial election 2026 for you. You can't change this to any other thing. So the system automatically filters the election that is for you.
Yes, the one that's concerned.
Exactly. If your email has just popped in. Okay, you will not get it because I didn't configure your email for that. For the
Okay.
training purpose, I configured
The
our
back end.
our back end email. So the email has just popped in saying, dear stakeholder, a vote has been cast, blah 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 blah, and all the details for Abia Central Senatorial. So this email goes to INEC, it goes to everywhere, to everybody.
Yes.
Right? And then they can do their verification. So we'll make what choice are you selecting now?
I'm still going with C.
Okay, so another C. And then you submit your vote. So it continues that way until
I'm done with
all kinds of election that is available for you.
Yes.
So if you now want to manipulate the system by voting multiple times, so you will see that happening here. So let's go back to presidential election. Irrespective of your choice, the second time, even if you choose that same C or you choose another party and submit the vote, it will tell you you've already voted in this election.
Oh, okay.
So the system rejects that. So that's your ID cannot vote in presidential elections again for 2026.
Yes. Okay.
And then it's already at the dashboard. Now,
Yes.
the results, like I said, it's instantaneous. So unfortunately, we didn't look at the results before we cast your
Yes.
votes. But let's just, for curiosity's sake, let's look at Abia. Is it South now senatorial?
Yes, Abia South.
Okay, so the category of election is we'll select Abia because that's the senatorial election is under Abia. We'll select senatorial election, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you have 3 Senate elections. Abia Central, for 2025 and 26. The results are, when we started this platform last year, we set up elections for 2025. And then this year, now because it has ended, we set up for 2026. And now that's another beautiful feature. Like we experienced in 2023, there was a glitch. People could upload senatorial elections, but they couldn't upload presidential.
Yeah.
In this situation, everything is writing to the same database. So if INEC decides to have a glitch, it glitches everybody. The election stops. So any day you open it up, people resume from where they stopped. Yeah. So there is no room there is no glitching to glitch anybody. Yeah. So if you glitch it, everybody glitches. And then we'll stop, we'll resolve the issue, and then we'll continue. So senatorial, is Abia South now? No, it's South. So you can see there is one vote here. Okay. And that one vote has 100% achieved. So that's my vote. So this is the one vote that you cast. So if election ends now, this is the one vote that will count. So if 3 other people vote before now, you will see the votes there, right? So it's that instantaneous. Now you can drill down these results. You can check where this result is coming from, which is what the result sheet actually shows. It's from Abia State, it's from Aba North, it's from Obo Hill 1.
Okay, you can trace it down to
yes, you can drill down to the polling unit. So if you want to know what this senator actually achieved, assuming you know his polling unit, assuming his polling unit is this Obo Hill, so senator, what did you get in your polling unit? So you come here and you look at it and you say, okay, senator, see, in your polling unit, you didn't win or you won.
Yes.
So everything is digital, it's transparent, it's open. You don't need to carry paper around. That saves us cost. So this is the practical demonstration of how iVoteAfrica works and how it will handle general elections. So when people talk about online real-time transmission, I just look in confusion because what we're asking for is not online real-time. We're asking that the result should be transmitted at the end of the election, the process, and we are still saying real time, and we are still saying, it can't be real time. This is real time. You have voted, election is still on. So if somebody else votes in Obo Hill too, it adds to this.
From wherever
it adds. So that's real time. Yes. So you don't wait till the end of the process. And then this is actually what solves the problem of litigation, the problem of all the violence, all the mistrust that people have in the process. This is the only system that will produce a generally acceptable outcome.
Yes.
Where everybody sees for himself that this is what went down, and then everybody goes home and everybody's okay.
We are comfortable with this kind of results. Yeah.
Well, I am comfortable. I don't know about Nigerians.
No, this is the kind of system we want. That we are sure that we cast a vote and we are sure that it's counting for the person that we are throwing that vote for.
Well, that is what we have tried to do. We have tried to open the door for Nigerians to see. It's left for Nigerians to keep the door open. It's left for Nigerians to, ask for what they really want, what will actually solve their problem. So it's no longer an issue of can it be done. The tools are already there. All we're asking for now is the political will, legal framework, to do the right thing, to give the people what they want.
Yes.
The systems are already available.
Yes.
And then when we talk about part of the issues they raised is network availability. You can see the network was poor here, but we're able to cast our votes. We're able to get our emails across. It doesn't require plenty bandwidth, because in the back end, these are just tiny pockets of information. It's forget all the graphics and everything in front. At the back end, they are just tiny pockets of information. So minimal connectivity. And then when there is no connectivity at all, we can easily deploy satellite-based modems. We'll go to these places to campaign. We'll go to these places to solicit their votes. So why can't we give them internet? It's even an indictment on us if the people who want to vote us in have no access to internet, don't have access to information. And then we are basing that to say we can't do this. No. And then where it doesn't exist, give them satellite-based internet. Work with stakeholders, telecoms. Let them give people internet. And then it's just about 3% of the area that is even not covered according to NCC.
Yes.
So what's the big deal? When they talk about internet, it's overstated. The problem is blown out of proportion. it's used to create caveats that will tolerate the manual system, the broken system.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the broken system, we digitize it. And so what
We are
Nigeria
just digitizing the results.
exactly. So what Nigeria needs is not partial reforms. We need a total reform of the whole process from start to finish, end to end, and let it be clear, transparent, and acceptable to the people. So that's what we've done with iVoteAfrica.
Lastly, what would a truly credible Nigerian election look like?
Well, a truly credible election is the one that people accept the outcome in confidence. It's the one that is transparent. It's the one that is devoid of manipulation. It's the one that is devoid of violence.
Yeah.
It's the one that has the minimal or no post-election litigations.
Okay.
It's the one that every contestant is satisfied with the outcome.
Yeah.
And basically, that's a free and fair, credible election. Anything short of that is not credible.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
So I want to thank you again. We are very glad to have you in the studio today.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We'll keep talking about these things and hope that
Yeah.
Nigerians do the right thing.
I hope to have you back in the studio.
You know where
some
to
other
find
time.
me.
Yes, we will definitely have
You
you
know
back
where
in
to
the studio.
find me. Thank you very much.
I Vote Africa, where every vote counts.